So I'm outside the studio and I'm a little bit late, there's a photographer there, and I've quickly got to rush in, but all I know is today I'm looking checking out a new product from Sky. And that product is Sky Live, and at the end of the video you will know all about its features, what it can and can't do, and of course how much it costs. So let's go. So we headed over to the Violin Factory in South London, through some colourful circles into a simulation of what is a house. But before we got into the features, what is Sky Live? Well, it's a camera and we got our hands on it. And here it is. This is Sky Live, a little camera in a box, which Sky promised works really well in low light and has a nice wide angle lens. At the top there is the mute button, which turns off the cameras and also the mics, obviously, whenever you want, so you can get privacy. And on the back, a very simple USB-C connection that connects between this and your Sky Glass. We then had a quick presentation which talked us through the core experiences that Sky Live will be delivering. And those are video, play, watch together, and work out. And throughout this video, we're going to go through each of those offerings one by one, discussing exactly how they will work with Sky Live. Plus, we're going to be adding on some extra bonus bits of information that, well, if I'm honest, are a world first. So the first thing we're going to look at today in terms of the features of Sky Live is watch together. Let's jump in. So the first bit that we got our hands on was the watch together feature. So here we can see some live sport playing and a group of other people watching it with us. I thought that this was just a video demo, but the guys at Sky actually proved that there were real people watching this alongside us, the live cricket at the time, and we gave them all a little wave. There you go. You can see them waving along back at us. They were real people there watching it alongside us. Now, the idea for this is you can enjoy television alongside your friends with ease. How do you do this? Well, Sky have made it relatively simple, and here goes. If you're watching a live show, when you have plugged in your Sky Live, you actually get an option saying watch together. You can select that option, and then once you have selected it, as you can see, the Sky box will then open up this shared area, and this is how you connect with your friends. You invite your friends with this 9-digit code, and what Sky encourage you to do is take a photo and send it to your friends, or just message them the code, and then they can join your room. I asked straight away why there wasn't like a best friends feature, and while this is something Sky is looking into doing, I think at the moment they said their emphasis is to make sure that everybody can access this, set up a room and close it without kind of the concern of maybe, you know, a friend who isn't friends with one of your other mates connecting to them or accidentally jumping into a room of other people. They want to make each viewing experience unique. Anyway, once you send that, you can choose how you make an entrance, and here you can see the wide camera cropping in on the group of us to make sure that we're all picked up during the viewing, and we can join the room with our camera on or off, or with our microphone on and off. So that's quite literally the live version of this experience. You can see we connected to the room. We'd actually sent over the other people who were part of the demo the code and just waited for them to filter in as we watch some cricket on Sky TV. Whilst they filter in, I'll just let you know at the moment the availability in terms of quality is HD, not 4K at the moment, but they said that they are, again, this is something they would like to address in the future. That was another wave with the people there just to prove that they're all real, and you can see there Sky Live zooming in on them as well. You can also choose between different views as well. Of course, you can stick with the conventional view that you have there. Also, you can see a room code at the top left of the screen there, or you can choose to have your friends at the side, enjoy the sports with them or whatever live show you're watching. This is a live audio balance feature where you can choose to hear more of your friends talking or more of the sport itself. Apparently right in the middle is a really good mix, but you know, I guess it's kind of up to whatever your personal choice is. There's a slider there. Those who are familiar with gaming, it's a simple kind of balance between, you know, like group chat and just the pure sport itself. When you are sharing a viewing experience, you're not actually stuck in that experience. As you can see, you can move the main sport channel around that you're watching, including a little window with your friends. But you can also move into other areas of Sky Glass and view other things. And when you do view those things, the rest of your group watches them with you. Now, you are not commander and chief of your group. Once you set your group up, if anyone else selects another channel that they want to share with the group, everyone will watch that as well. But I guess it does mean that you can actually browse through other things that are going on on Sky Glass whilst you are all watching another sport together. You know, I might want to line up my latest Spider-Man film or something like that. As you can see, the person giving us a demo picked out Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, selected it, and everyone can watch together. On that note, everyone in the group can also pause and rewind content. Now, I know you're saying, Marcus, this is not live content. Now, you are right. It is not live content, but because these are Sky television channels, you can actually watch movies together. Now, there are other VOD services that Sky's already partnered up with. Paramount Plus is an example. And I did say to them, you know, are you open to talk to the likes of Netflix, to the likes of Prime? And you know, Sky said that they're ready to do that. And in the future, if they can get the right relationship, maybe we'll be able to have a shared viewing experience as well. I'm going to have to shut this film off because I don't want to get a DMCA strike. But here you can see it's working and everybody just waved at us as well. And like I said, everyone else can control this. They can pause, they can rewind and jump to other bits of the movie. Here you go. Here you can see we are not touching the remote. It's on the table. Someone else in the group is going to skip us forward to 1 hour and 2 minutes and we will crack right on with watching it. And next up, we have the next offering, which is video call. Now, as you can see here, Sky Live have partnered up with the people that really know how to do video calls, especially over the last few years, Zoom. So we'll talk through the interface that is available when you select your video call feature. As you can see, it's pretty much like a regular Zoom app setup. You can start a new meeting. You can join an existing meeting if you want to join an existing meeting. On the left-hand side, you can see your calendar of meetings as well. You can also share content. So that enables you to cast from an Apple or an Android or anything else device. So if you would like to share something with a meeting, you can do that as well. And of course, you've got your contacts where you can dig into those and start a meeting with somebody that you already know. So let's kickstart this meeting, shall we? First off, you're going to see us. This is what we look like when we are being picked up by the Sky Live device. See, it's picked up all 4 people in the room. Obviously, if I'm sitting there by myself, it might zoom in a little bit more, but also gives us a little bit of headroom and makes us look nicer than cropping in really tight or being super wide. So I think as you saw, Angelica walked into the shot there, it made a small adjustment. If you want to skip back that part of the video and watch that, you can see that just a few seconds beforehand. There's a door in the background opening, which it hasn't picked up, people, which is pretty good, I guess. And then I think next it's all about seeing who jumps into our meeting and what the conversation is like. There you go. You saw a slight adjustment in the cropping there as Angelica moved. It's actively looking to make sure it can find us the best image at the best time. So we've passed our meeting invite over and Angelica, who's just taken a step to the other side of the room, is jumping in and we're seeing what it looks like. Here you can see you can adjust the kind of gallery settings as you would with Zoom. I presume we're all quite aware of that. Angelica's jumping in on an iPad. You can see her just there on the right hand side. And this is what it looks like if somebody is zooming you. There we go. That's me recording the screen, recording the screen, recording the screen. But you know, I'm just trying to show you how it works, how it looks on another iOS device. For example, of course, somebody else could be on a computer. And yeah, you've kind of got all of the regular features that you'd expect from Zoom. There you go. That's Angelica from Sky there, just showing us that she is live. And there we go. We jumped out of that meeting there, just so we can jump into another meeting, showing what it's like when we actually start a meeting and how it looks to the person that you're actually hollering at. So let's hit up Angelica, shall we, again? Obviously, you've got to hide the other emails in there for safety. You know? And there you go. That's her receiving a call from us. And she hits accept. There we are, cracking on, having a conversation on Zoom. And it's as simple as that. Now, why would I want to Zoom from my living room? You know what? I think in this kind of post-pandemic world, yes, there are a lot of people that have home setups, but sometimes you may want to have a Zoom conversation in a slightly more relaxed environment. I know I would. Maybe you would do that, maybe you wouldn't, but I think it's a feature that would be something if we didn't have as part of Sky Live, everybody would be asking, why didn't we have it? Speaking of things that you can do, with Sky Live, you can actually cast a Zoom call, which is on your phone, to the television, or from the television, Sky Glass, shall I say, and Sky Live, you can cast it back over to your device. So you could, for example, walk into a room on a Zoom call, send it to your Sky Live, or you can be leaving a room and send it from your Sky Live over to your mobile device and carry on a Zoom call seamlessly. You can also have a little bit of fun with Video Booth, which is a Sky developed app where you basically have some AR filters you can chuck on, mess around with, and also share with family and friends. So here we go. We're just going through some filters here. I think I know what one of my favorite ones was, which was the Matrix one, but let's jump through some of these and see what comes up first. I think Angelica goes for a holiday one. I think she does. Yeah, she does. She goes for a holiday vibe. Come on. There we go. Hey, look at that. There you go. There you go, and here's the Matrix one. That's me doing my little Neo from the Matrix. There you go, let's put some AR sunglasses on me. An example, I think, of how Skylive can be used alongside brands. I believe that's the kind of message there, you know, for us to have a little bit of fun and maybe for some IP and content to find a new way to connect with this audience. So once you've recorded some content, so for example, you could record a birthday message to somebody because it's got a microphone with a little filter on it. You actually get a QR code, and once you actually select QR code, shout out to my mate James here, don't worry, he's just taking it slow to show us. You actually hit a button there, and there you can actually watch the video, share it, or save it to your device and send it to others. Now that only lasts for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, the QR code and the content expires. That's because Sky wants us to focus on having a little bit of fun, and it isn't trying to harvest and save your content forever. Next up is working out. Now this is an app or program called Movement. Now Sky, get it, people have been busy, people are busy. Finding a gym can be expensive or even intimidating, and you know, maybe you feel like you don't know what you're doing. People are starting or even restarting their fitness journey, and this is what Movement is for. Created by ex-Olympians, gym owners and fitness experts alongside Sky, they've managed to use the technology in the Sky Live camera to track 33 points on your body to give you live feedback on how you are moving around when exercising, and then not only giving you live feedback, adjusting your workouts. As far as I'm aware, this is the only thing that can correct your biometrics as you work out. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. As it launches, we will have 230 exercises available, 10 trainers on day one, and a 10-week academy they actually spent with each of the trainers to make sure that they were ready to deliver you the best content in this format where they can educate as well as entertain. So they have things like yoga, strength, aerobic workouts, but here you can kind of see just a simple squat exercise. So this is the actual practice mode where you don't get any kind of gamification or points. This is just all about let's practice and do it right. And then we'll get into the kind of second section of this where it really does start to get interesting and personalized. So here we have our trainers kind of talking us through it, and a poor personal trainer who must be super fit because this dude had been doing demos all day long. Every time I walked past this room, this guy was doing a plank or a squat or something like that, and he didn't even break a sweat. Anyway, so here you can see the program is showing us how we do a squat. So there you can see a trainer there doing a squat. And then on the right hand side of the screen, I will zoom in a moment, he's actually getting live feedback. You can see his form points, knees, torso, not enough depth. So he needs to dig deep, need to get ass to grass, brother. But yeah, so you can see if you do not squat correctly, you get live feedback to make sure that you do better. Like I said, this is fantastic for people who may be intimidated by gym experience because they just don't feel like they know what they're doing. Or even if you're just picking up a whole new exercise, you don't know what you're doing. And you might not be able to get a personal trainer, or you might be nervous to go to the gym and just get it all wrong. People are like that. So here you go. You can have something that can show you how to work out and help you practice. And you can see they've gamified this, you know, giving you achievements to unlock, let you know exactly where you're doing well, where you need to do better, with small suggestions on where you need to train more in the future to make sure that you do your exercises well. Beyond that, it actually goes to a next level. Instead of single exercises, you can look at things that are full classes. So body movement, stretching, agility, strength training, core training. And once you jump into one of these exercises or these exercise routines, you have a personal trainer. Again, you can see it's picking up the biometric points in your body there just to make sure that everything's connected. And then you actually go through a workout process. So during your workout, you get introductions from your trainer, and also you get extra information on the screen, a little bit more than when you were doing your practice. So I'll show you those just now. Here we go, another squat exercise. You can see form points that we saw in the practice, driving the knees out, making sure you keep upright as well. And then on the top left of the screen, you have the reps that you've done, the exercises that are up next, and you can also see the current exercise you're on at the bottom left of the screen. And it also some instruction telling you on how to face the camera. So you want to face forwards for this so it can kind of work out what your body movement is like. All heads up and all on the screen. But I hear you saying, Marcus, what if I'm doing an exercise where I'm not facing the screen, where I'm maybe facing the floor doing a plank or something? Well, The guys at Sky and Movement only went and thought of that, and you got an accompanying app that works with your mobile device, so you can actually get instructions on what your form points are like and any other information that they want to deliver to you whilst you're doing exercises where you're not looking at the screen, which I think is very good. After each workout, you do actually get some information about what you were good at and what you maybe need to improve more on, and some suggestions on exercises you can go back and do. Now, like I said on the day, there were lots of fans going off because it was a really warm day. I will play you a clip of the feedback so you can have a quick listen to it now. And if you can hear anything, great. If not, I'll let you know in the comments exactly what is being said. But it sounded like it was very relevant feedback for the workout that had been done on the day.
Let's look to increase that range of motion in your squat. Look to drop your hips well up towards the floor by squatting deeper. In your squat, it's really important that those knees don't cave in. So look to drive your knees out in line with your toes, and you'll feel a lot stronger for it.
I hope that sounded all right. After a little bit more personalized feedback that you get from your trainer, you can also look at your app as well and get some visual feedback there as well. You get a full screen, which gives you information about your workout. Now, I spoke to the guys at Movement there, and I wanted to know what their roadmap was for the future, and they'd like to introduce heart rate zone matching feature, connecting with your wearables, aka Apple Watches and such, more new unique programs like a 12-week strength program or a flexibility program where they can make adjustments within that program and shift, so you can improve in areas that you need to improve in. I asked if they would be thinking about going portable in the future if you were to take the Movement app away with you on holiday, and they said of course that's something that they are very much looking into. Quick shout out to some of the workouts they had, one for small spaces, another one called Drop the Impact, which basically means if you've got neighbors downstairs, it's a workout that isn't going to annoy them. So I like the fact that they've thought about the actual real use case scenarios for people that are indoors having a workout with Sky Live. So there you go. That's how you work out with Sky Live. And after working out, of course, we went to check out the play offering from Sky, who have promised 27 games on launch. A lot of them have been made by partners or third-party companies, which means there should be a nice varied amount of games. And they're saying that they're trying to make it as easy as possible for developers to make games in the future. Now, the most classic of British games was the first game that they showed us was Monopoly. And the reason they showed it to us was because they wanted to show that Sky Live was a little bit smarter than we might have thought it could be. Now, with Monopoly, you can continue a game and come back to it because we know it's a long game. Family members want to fall out, storm out. Everybody might want to cool off and play again the next day. So the first thing they showed us was you can stop halfway through a game because Monopoly is a long game. Now, the next thing that they wanted to show us was how it played. Now, what's interesting is you actually have the avatars at the right-hand side of the screen. If you are playing with other people with Sky Live, you actually see their avatars in the screen so you can see them as you beat them and make them pay. People that have got the conventional version of the Monopoly app on their iPad or Android device can play along as well. It's very simple to share a game with them. Next up, an absolute classic, Fruit Ninja, but instead of swiping away at a screen, I handed the phone over to the lovely and helpful Ellie and I whipped out the weapons that were my hands and started chopping up some fruit. And it was quite intuitive, a nice little bit of a laugh and something that I can see the family having a go at. I just want to say, don't want to brag here, but I'm about to unlock some extra bonus points. Look at that, chopping it up, come on! Next, it was Whack-A-Mole, where they told us to touch our moles. I cracked a joke, touched the mole on my face. Anyway, yeah, so myself and James were playing Whack-A-Mole together, where we can actually try and score some points. And yeah, again, another game, bit of a laugh there. I think I did prefer Fruit Ninja, but this is a nice multiplayer game to play with maybe one of the young'uns. Another game for the youngsters coming up. But first, somebody came up and showed us a game that was designed specifically for Sky Live. And that game is called Starry. Now, Starry combines the conventional dance games, your kind of Beat Saber games, but you don't need to wear a headset. All you need is your body. They've partnered up with Universal, I believe, Warner Brothers, and Atlantic, I think, but some very big labels so that you can actually have some songs that are by some very well-known people. You got some Dua Lipa, Sia in there. I think I saw some Miley Cyrus in there, Imagine Dragons. So yeah, you can step up to the plate, and I think this will be quite obvious what it is once we show you the gameplay. Let's jump straight into it. So you need to move your body in time with the music, and then, you know, you could swipe your hands around, step to the left or to the right. There's also some moves in there where you got to spin your hands around. So I kind of think Beat Saber, but you do not need anything attached to your body. You just need your body itself, which I think is quite fun. I just want to say the person playing it tried to play that they weren't that good at it, but they were absolutely sick. They smashed it. Up next, we promised something extra for the youngsters. Now, this is something that's in development. This is a Peppa Pig game where it's all about jumping up and down and messing up some mud. They've also got some other games called Maniacs, Neo Witch, but I'm not sure which of these will be available at launch, but I do know that these are developer titles, so they may not be the finished thing, but here's the kind of stuff that you can get up to if you've got some younger people in your house that are fans of things like Peppa Pig. Especially if they're a little bit too young for computer games. It's easy to just, you know, pop your body in front of the camera, and I think you got to fill out that outline, and then you choose whether you're 1 player or 2 player, and then, oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. It's a developer title, so they had to go again. That's all right. Let's skip to there we go. Like I said, not perfect just yet. There you go. They set it up. And let's see what happens when they set up this muddy game. There you go. Right, let's set themselves up in front of the camera, fit into the outline. Look at that. And there you go. That's all you got to do. You got to just jump up and down. Make as much mess as possible, which I get. Jump up and down, move left and right, which, like, look, very simple game for adults. But, you know, nice bit of fun if you've got a youngster around. I can imagine if you've got neighbours downstairs, they ain't going to like you playing this game. But you know what? A little bit of a laugh, you know what I mean? So next up, we had a conversation with some of the developers talking about just what the future of Sky Live might look like. Now, for example, the camera is a little bit more complex than you think because it can pick up those biometric body points. You can actually move your body around to control what's going on the screen. Now, this is an example of something that sensor app developers saying, you know, if you move your hands outwards and inwards, you can explode something or make it go smaller again. Another example is a very small movement. Just by using your thumb and your finger, you can actually be picked up by the Sky Live camera. This could be something maybe in the future we could use Sky Live, not just for gaming, but for something like changing the channel on your TV, or maybe even just making a minute adjustment, a wave of a hand to say, right, I don't want to watch that anymore. Let's move on to another show. You know, pausing a show by putting your palm up. If it can pick up these very small gestures, then who knows what we could be using Sky Live for in the future, and who knows what's going to happen to that conventional TV remote. Anyway, I guess what's up next is one of the most important things that people really want to know about Sky Live. And I'll show you just after my mate Michael there just nails the accuracy test of getting his fingers exactly 38% apart. There we go. Anyway, right, price. So at the time of the making of this video, I can give you the current pricing structure that we'll be looking at for Sky Glass and Sky Live. So Sky Live monthly, including the camera, costs £6 a month with a credit agreement length of 48 months. It's £12 a month if you'd like it for 24 months and £290 if you'd like to buy it outright. But it's worth noting that the credit agreement has 0% interest, so you're not penalised for paying over time. Now, Sky Glass starts from 43 inches. There's also a 55 and 65 inch model, so those will be a bit more. Monthly, that starts from £14, and that is also 48 months. Sky Ultimate TV packages monthly, which is one of the introductory packages Sky has, is £26, and that is for 18 months. Add that all together, and an entry-level price, if you wanted to go for the cheapest version, would cost you a total of £46 per month. So what are my final thoughts on Sky Live? Well, seeing as Sky Glass and Sky Stream, which is the streaming box, which we've also done a video review on, they are the most popular products for new people coming to Sky. Sky is quite confident in giving us that information. And I think it's a very interesting combination of technology and TV. And one of the things I like about Sky Glass and also the look of Sky Live, I've not got my hands on the final version yet, but this looked pretty good to go, is the fact that it can amalgamate all of your video on demand services in one place. It's so nice to be able to see your favorite shows from Paramount Plus next to Netflix, next to Sky content as well. And one thing that I did discuss with the guys from Sky is partnering up with video on demand services. Sky are up for it. Paramount Plus is already on board. I've already said that. But are the rest, and will they? That is something that Sky have to work out. They've said pretty much to me, the door's open. Yeah, so if other people want to get on board and do that, that is a possibility as well. I also discussed a friends mode because a TV is communal, so I get that they kind of haven't front loaded and pushed a friends mode, but it would be nice to know I could sit down at my TV and find out what my mates are watching. Maybe jump into a show that they're watching halfway through, maybe ask them to rewind it to the start, maybe even get a little kind of like highlight reel to see what I've missed and catch me up with the show if I'm going to jump into a season 3 episodes in. Who knows what could be done with the information that gets handed around and the algorithms that can kind of help us to enjoy shows alongside our friends as well. All developers are getting access to a Sky portal with really high amounts of information and ease of use for them to kind of create their own apps as well. So Sky really wants other people to get involved and crack on with creating content for them and with them. And you know, I'm very excited to try out Sky Live. You know, as soon as it comes out, we're going to be getting our hands on it and testing it out with a good friend of the show. There were some familiar faces on there if you're into your gadgets across the UK, so we might be doing some tests with them as well. In the meantime, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I've been Marcus Bronzy. This has been a little Sky Glass review. Just want to clarify, I've not been paid a penny for this. This is my honest reviews at the moment, and it will be my honest review when I try out the final thing. Any questions or things you want me to try out when I get the final device delivered, you just put it in the comments and we'll crack on from there. Until next time, keep being you. Peace.